Okay, so like I figured, I had to split it up. I had to do a part two. Um, I was only able to watch like 45 minutes last night. I was tired. I couldn't do another hour. I haven't uploaded that one on my YouTube, so that way y'all could just watch it back to back, so I don't have to wait an hour or so to watch the second part. I'm sure most of y'all already saw this video, but I know some of y'all haven't. Um, Let me go. Okay, Jailhouse Blues. I'm so tired. I got home like so late last night. And then like this morning, it's so dark outside. I don't know if it wants to rain or what, but it's making me so tired. So I'm trying to like drink my coffee. And her yelling is like not helping my morning. But we're gonna roll with it.
My brother was in the fridge. I snapped. I was like, I had a tiny bit, and you're gonna eat half of it? So now I literally have one bite of it? That's not even a fucking snack. You know? I'm pregnant as fuck. You're gonna eat some pregnant bitch's macaroni? I was digging through. I wanted to make myself a breakfast sandwich. Did I find my vegan cheese? No. It wasn't there. They ate it. Did I find the vegan chocolate chip cookies that we bought for me? No. They weren't there anymore.
Alright, see, I started it. I know we went over this part earlier. I couldn't forget this part.
My brother doesn't try. He comes in, he destroys things, and then they don't try. You know, I just
You
don't
don't
understand. I just
try.
want to kill myself. Nobody wants to openly communicate. I've got that film of him. I have to share it so you understand how fucking heightened he gets, how over.
I swear she uses the word heighten so many times, in so many ways, all the time. I don't know if you should be out here while mommy's doing this. Did you want to go watch JJ?
Yeah.
Why don't you go watch JJ, okay? Yeah. You can turn on the light if you want to. Okay, the heighten, like, her vocabulary is too heightened. What else was too heightened? Her brother, he was too heightened, like his emotions. It just drives me crazy. And it's like, yeah, they probably don't try, but you don't try either. And it's so funny, like so I'm expecting a video whenever she got arrested, but she's waiting till she clips out her nip. And then, curious how that went down. And I'm expecting a video of her brother. I don't know I don't know if she said what she had to edit, but go ahead and throw it up, sis. What else? Oh, whoever is like on her case, they should really watch this video and count how many times she is threatening herself. And that should be a form of kind of like voluntary. Like, how many times does she have to say, I'm gonna F myself, how many times is she going to say that and people not be like, okay, you know what, you said it, just in case, we have to take precautions. Like, you can't keep on saying it, and then, then whenever we come get you, you say you don't want help. You clearly was asking for help on the channel. You were asking for help, you were begging for help, and then you were, saying that you were going to off yourself probably about 10 times, and it's only been half the video. They should, like, not even, like, ask her.
Yeah.
Overwhelming that is for me, and to have felt that my whole life, and to be around it again. Do you understand how much I just want to slip my fucking wrists? And I don't even just say that.
Oh my gosh.
And then they use that on there. Hold on. Let me see. And I was like, At one point in the video, Leticia retrieves a box knife and attempts to cut her wrist. However, is no successful. That's exactly how it's written, mind you. I don't like improper grammar like that. Learn how to write. So, is no successful based on these suicidal attempts. Okay, suicidal attempts, and a exigency ping was requested from AT&T, which revealed her location was in Garland County. However, an accurate plot could not be found.
See, that's what's aggravating. Like, they just admitted that they pretty much subpoenaed and then asked for her location through her phone carrier or whatever. But it took you 6 months to find her?
So the fact of it is, they placed that shit on this file. They don't want to help people. They don't want to help that I'm suicidal because of this. They want to take that and use it against me and say, these are the reasons why you're crazy. And then they filed for a fucking thing on January 20th. I'm not seeking any compensation from the father. I don't want anything to do with the father. So the fact that there's a restraining order against him and I want nothing to do with him. But I'm carrying his DNA.
What?
That's not okay. I feel like, why did I have to go through this? Because you couldn't control your urges. Because I do all the time. I make sure, hardly ever do I act out. Last year I had sex a few times.
No.
Total. So
I don't believe that. She couldn't even, like, let that come out.
So the fact of it is, of all of it, why aren't you not just seeing? From everyone that knows me, I traveled up to my old school. I made sure that we prayed about that shit. You kept a monitor on me. You wanted to see what I was doing, what I was trying to pursue here. What were my hidden agendas behind it? Sanctuary. I wanted to be free of whatever this is. Whatever demonic force impregnated me after I just shut my mouth constantly. Let these guys walk all over me.
Okay, this is really aggravating because the way she's like, oh, this demonic, blah, blah, blah. Like, you literally wanted it. I mean, I don't know what happened the second time in the middle of the night or morning, whatever, so I'm not talking about that. But I'm talking about, like, from the jump. She wanted it. And then she was even asking and be like, oh, I thought, we were going to do it again. Like, she was expecting to do it again. And then, even supposedly, whenever he did this to her, she wanted to be in a relationship with him. But then now, all of a sudden, it's a demonic thing that, I don't know, it's just really aggravating. And I really wish they can use this video and be like, well, every time we pick you up, Leticia, you say, you don't want help, but you clearly are asking for it and begging for it and say that no one is ever helping you and you're obviously very suicidal, so we're not going to take any chances, and since you posted this video, we're going to take you seriously just in case, and you're going to have to go into voluntary, involuntary, because clearly on here, she's, like, begging for help. She's saying, nobody wants to help me. Blah, 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 blah.
All those times I could have filed for rape, and no one ever did anything. And I just have to swallow my tears. Like every other woman that's been date raped like that. Because they know, oh my God, I was just used for that one night, and he promised me the world, and then just left it at that.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I feel like I have to rewind it because it's like every time I have something to say. I don't know. Like, mine was different, and whoever, Myra, whatever your name is, if you say something stupid, I'm gonna block you, okay? I didn't know the person. Like, I was a virgin, and I didn't even know the person. It was like we went down south to visit where we used to live, and we were staying with my older sister's best friend, and her next door neighbor was, like, they knew him, like, he was cool. He was nice. But his friend, he, like, was pretty fond of me. I was really uncomfortable, but it was just weird. And then, like, the morning that we left, that is when it happened. So, I don't know. I think it's weird to be like, I mean, it obviously happens, but for someone to, like, you be with someone and they promise you the whole world, and then all of a sudden they do that to you. I mean, I guess it happens, but that's just weird. And then it's like, y'all didn't even know each other, so why would you take him seriously? I mean, you know how people talk? Like, again, I'm not blaming her for it, but it's like common sense. Like, y'all just met on a website. Then y'all started texting, like, right after. Y'all didn't even know each other. And you're jumping in the bed with him. Like, when did y'all were only together for a couple days. When did he have time to promise you the whole world? Was it whenever he was in the bed and y'all were, how are you going to take that seriously? You don't know this dude. He's promising you the whole world. Well, like, I can't. I mean, I know she's, like, has been, like, hurt, and she's probably delayed, you know, growing, like, emotionally and mentally, but I don't know. That just aggravates me. Sorry, I'll go back, like 5 seconds.
For that one night, and he promised like that, because they know. Oh my God, I was just used for that one night, and he promised me the world, and then just left it at that. Like, he used me. I feel terrible. And it happens to a lot of good girls like that. A lot of bad girls too, you know? Or, you know, when there wasn't even drugs involved in the situation. Or so I don't know. Maybe he did drug me. Maybe that's why I was in and out of consciousness in that time.
Oh my gosh.
I can't say for sure. I didn't actually go to the ER. I went to the ER. There's that filing. I'm going to get all the paperwork so that I have it for court. But the fact of it is like, I don't know why I'm pregnant right now. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. I cannot. What? That's not going to help that you went to the ER. Because you told us you left. Well, actually, you told the detective too. That it was like she was trying to give him a couple of days to be like, okay, Leticia, I want to be with you. I want to be in the baby's life. And whenever he didn't say that and he was just ignoring her, then she was like, okay, bet I'm going to file rape charges. The whole, if I can't have you, no one can have you. If I can't have you, I'm going to fuck your life over. So she waited. I mean, I never went whenever stuff like that happened to me, so I don't really have much to say about that. But I'm just saying it's not going to help her case because she has nothing. Like, whenever she went to the ER, she told even the detective, whenever she went, there was too many people there, so she left, and she didn't think that they would, like, charge him since he had, like, a military background. It's disgusting. It's like, really? Really? Now you're, like, being, what's, like, you're sleepy, baby. But now you're gonna piss, like, the whole police department and the hospital off for being like, oh, he was in the Navy, he served. Okay, yeah, we're not gonna press charges on him. Like, it's crazy. But that's not going to help at all. I mean, if you really, like I said, I didn't go. But if it got to the point where I actually went, you could bet your ass I'm going to sit there and wait and go ahead with the whole thing. There's no way I'm going to sit there, go to the emergency room, and then just be like, oh shucks, there's just too many people in here. I don't feel like waiting. I'm just gonna leave. No, you have to follow through. If you decide to do that, you need to follow through with it. I have no idea if it happened or not. I wasn't in that room. I don't know. I'm just putting pieces together, and it doesn't look like her story adds up.
Yeah.
And if she did go to the emergency room, maybe, just my speculation, she was thinking, yeah, they probably aren't going to be able to show, because she probably started second guessing herself, because they did have, it was consensual at one point. So allegedly, if he did do that to her, I don't know how they would really prove that. Like if you were together the day before and then the next time it wasn't consensual, like how would it, I don't know. But it doesn't matter because she left. So that's not going to help her court case. They're going to be like, "Well, why didn't you stay?" That's a horrible excuse, saying, "Oh, there's too many people and he was in the service, so he wouldn't be charged anyways. Y'all wouldn't take me seriously, so I just left." Okay, so irrelevant, like evidence, like denied. No evidence.
Why it had to come to this, for me to actually speak up about it, and to tell on these guys that touch me in my sleep, that get that far, that there's already penetration before I can consent, that you have to tell me that my reality doesn't exist. And plenty of women know. Plenty of women know. Men are just so pushy sometimes, especially in this day and age. And it's because we expose so much of our bodies, they can't help themselves. They're fucking animals, And I wasn't even that exposed when I met Jason Wallace. He just remembered the photos of me and everything, had presumed I was, nice and everything in every other way. She was like, okay, I'm going to fuck that. I don't really believe he's part of sex trafficking, and I'm going to be honest.
What?
I really don't. But at the same time, it would make a great plot twist, wouldn't it? If it were based upon that. So, I'm sick and sad and distorted, and I just want to write, and I just want to paint, and I just want to sing and dance, and I just want to get away from this, and I want to just, you take the baby. If that's how you feel, I told you, I wasn't trying to inflict pain upon myself, but I knew everybody hated me. I knew there were so many people that wanted my baby dead as well. So I started hitting it in the jail. Not hard enough for it to give it brain damage, but then I had
Oh my gosh. Kenzo, I really hope and pray they watch this fucking video. How do you know? I was hitting it, but not enough to give it brain damage. Like, what the fuck? And you want to say you're a good mom? Are you kidding me? Like, you're so freaking, you're already hitting the child. I can't. That pisses me off so fucking bad. Like, somebody needs to step in because she's already hurting the baby. You should not, and that's, CPS is a worthless piece of shit if they don't do anything until the baby is actually born. Do you not understand that a person can actually unlive a baby? Why would you wait until the baby's born? She doesn't have much longer. I think she's gonna go probably before she even thinks. Someone needs to do something. If I was her family, you would have to be like a fucking sane person in her family. Like, that would be blood on their fucking hands. I would go apeshit fucking crazy if I was like a sane person and this was someone, that was my family. If she did that to that baby and everybody in the county knew, everybody, even around the world watching these videos knew, and nobody did anything about it, and it could have been prevented, oh, bet your fucking dollar ass I'd be fucking on your ass, and you'd be getting sued all the way up and down.
I had a nightmare about it afterward, about a woman walking through it was like a business, it was a glass door, and she was pushing through, and she had like a handicapped son that was, coming along there, and I have so much just empathy for the individuals that are disabled. I love them very much in that way because they can't get by on their own. Like I have a lot of compassion for people that can't manage to fend for themselves. And she was smacking him on the head really, really, really hard as he was walking through the glass door. And of course, I felt terrible after I punched at my stomach, but I wanted him to stop moving. I wanted it to go away. All of this to go away. Why would you...
I can't. Like, you cannot tell me they cannot open up a CPS case already on her. If that's a fucking rule, this is why people hate CPS. I don't blame them. She's pregnant. I don't even like saying this stuff. Her baby's moving around because the baby's growing. I'm sorry the baby's growing and he just wants to move around. He just wants to try to be comfortable in your fucked up stomach. I'm so sorry. He's moving and you're hitting him because you want him to stop moving? Are you kidding me? So what the hell would you do whenever he's actually out of your stomach? This is the type of person where it's like a shaking baby syndrome. That baby is not going to last. And it's freaking me out the way that she's talking and admitting to hitting the baby because the baby wouldn't stop moving in her stomach. Yeah, you're definitely never ever be a mother. Like, what the hell are you going to do whenever the baby's born? And you're stressed out because the baby's hungry. Or you're tired and the baby's, crying. Like, I can't. Like, I'm so aggravated with this system. Like, Arkansas, you suck. You fucking suck. I wonder if anyone sent anybody this video. I would be that person to send them the video and be like, y'all better do something because y'all know everything about this and y'all know even more. If y'all don't, like, I hope people come after y'all so fucking hard. Like, this is so sad. How can I love and care for this baby so much more than anyone else? Especially this bitch. Like, you're supposed to be the baby's mom. You're supposed to be, like, so protective and love with this baby. I think it's so weird.
You force me in cuffs. Why would you do this excessive shit to me? When I was getting shoved in the car, the officer said, maybe you shouldn't threaten officers and their families. Oh, I'm sorry that your families are more important than everybody else in the world.
Oh my
I didn't realize that you were that corrupt. I didn't realize that you weren't there to protect and serve the innocent. I thought you swore an oath under God, just like I did, in that way, my entire life, seeking a husband instead of all this shit. I didn't expect all this. I was sad and distorted. That's why I went and spoke to everybody, and you have proof of it, and they know what I genuinely feel. He's a fucking rapist after this. If he's just gonna leave me like that, he didn't know me, he only met me one time for a duration of 12 hours, that's rape. That's not okay. So, it never came back, never fucking tried, attempted to communicate. I was openly communicative, and I told him I was overly communicative, and he was like, I'm fine with that. No, you're just fine until you get the pussy, and then you leave. That's how men are. That's rape. So, and nobody else is going to convince me otherwise. No one. That is fucking gaslighting to the point of raping a girl so that she didn't understand what the fuck was going on. I'm classified as a disabled citizen. I was homeless at the time. I was desperate for a place to stay in that way. Not necessarily desperate, but, I thought you were going to have some fucking integrity. I thought you were going to have some valor in that way. But no, you're dishonest. You're impure.
This is another thing where I just don't understand and where it doesn't add up. I don't think she goes to these places just because she needs a place to stay. She decides she wants to sleep in a house that night. I think she was on that app talking about a freaking cuddle buddy, asking for money, saying that she wants to be reimbursed for gas. I mean, if you just think about it, She's lived in her car for 2 years. She's used to sleeping in her car. So why would she randomly go to stranger's house to just stay the night to sleep under a roof? Hell no. I wouldn't go sleep at someone's house that I don't fucking know. Are you kidding me? I have no idea what would have happened. There's no way. Even if I was like homeless and didn't have a car, like I would have to know the hell out of you to go stay at your house. But if I was in my car, if I had a car and I was sleeping in my car for 2 years, why change now? I would either get myself a house, start working for that, or just stay in my car because I would be used to it. You're not going to people's houses to just sleep there. No. Leticia, we're not fucking stupid. You're on the website. You're exchanging stuff for other stuff. You're there for money with other stuff. You already told us that you had a high sex drive and everything like that. Like, it's not just for you to sleep. Freaking victim.
You're part of whatever Satan's legion, army of fucking,
It's time to break up with your basic cleanser and get with Neutrogena Hydro Boost Hydrating Cleansing Gel.
HCA Florida Healthcare. We show up for you.
Gremlins. That's all I can say. I don't give a fuck about you. I mean, this baby will eventually want to ask questions about you. And that's why I'm just going to name him directly after him. Jason Lee Wallace II.
Stupid.
Fuck it. I have this feeling it's him as the father because of the fact that my, thing had told me, whatever, my ovulation calendar said that I was ovulating technically on the 9th. So if that would have happened, that would have been the ovulation. That's why I had the slight sort of like...
Yes, if that would have happened. There's different things, especially if it was, we know she already said it was like 2 guys within, 2 days? That's just what she told us. So I'm sure there was some before and afterwards. So already, that's 2 possibilities. Way too close to each other, bro. Way too fucking close to each other. I have no idea about this Jason guy. I mean, I don't want to be, like, judgmental. Maybe he just made a mistake, but it's like, I don't know. I just don't think very, like, highly of someone who I know is paying for sex, pretty much. But I guess everyone makes mistakes. Hopefully he's learned from his mistakes. A part of me wonders what he's going to do. A part of me wonders if he wants to be a part of the kids' lives. It's kind of sad. I just have a feeling that he doesn't care. Which is sad, but at the same time, if he doesn't want anything to do with the kid, I don't want the kid with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the type of, if you don't want to be around someone, like, if you don't want to be around me, don't fucking come around me. Like, I don't want anyone around me who doesn't want to be around me, type thing. So if no one wants this baby, don't put that on the baby. Like, put him up for adoption. And I'm sure she doesn't. I don't know. I mean, he could end up being an awesome guy, insane, or even the other guy. Like, I have no idea. Like, I don't know if they're like... It's sad, but it's like, I don't know if they're going to be like, well, she's fucking crazy, so I don't want anything to do with the baby. That has nothing to do with the baby. You know? Like, you can't blame the baby who made the baby. You know, does that make sense? So it would be nice if one of the guys that she was slept with was an actually, like, loving freaking man and was like, I want a DNA test. I want to take care of that baby if that baby's mine. But I don't know. I don't know if any either one of them is gonna step up and do that. So if they don't do that, she's not gonna have a choice. They're not gonna be like, okay, so do you want to put the baby up for adoption, or they're not going to let her leave that hospital without a house and her being so mentally unstable with that baby. That's the only thing that's like giving me a little bit of hope is she'll have court whenever she's about to pop. And if they're in her possession whenever she's going into labor, she's going to have to go to the hospital. And that's how they're going to be able to make sure the baby's delivered okay. And then that's how they're going to be able to keep the baby. But like she's sitting here saying, that's what scares me. And she has a whole month until court. We have to hope and pray she does not hurt the baby before she is pretty much in custody. I mean, she was already hitting her stomach. Actually, I think she was doing it at the jail. That shit pisses me off. Like, y'all are supposed to have all eyes on this psychopath. Like, I don't know. I just hope the baby's, like, okay. Because now she has a whole month to potentially really hurt this baby, especially knowing that she has court coming up. She's probably going to be sentenced. Really curious how this is going to go. And I'm, again, very disappointed with the Arkansas government. Y'all fucking suck.
Bloody discharge in that way. And I thought it was like a slight STD. That's why I was freaked out on the 9th and wanted to go file. So I was like, holy shit, like, what is this? But then I saw a military man standing there, and I felt terrible because I felt like I don't want to ruin anybody's life. I always have these weird emotions, pulling me this way and that, because I really have compassion for these people more than anything else. They need to be prayed for because they need to expel their demons, but not like this, buddy. Not in everybody. And like, I told my mom about some dreams that I had, and how there was a dream where I was talking to this guy, and he had a bunch of poodles, and he had his own home, and he was on disability. We were like the perfect match. But then his phone fell open like that. I was able to see what was on the screen, and it was videos of pornography going on, moving videos and stuff. So I thought, like, no, I'm out. And it was just weird. I just don't understand how perverse these people are. He didn't even give me an opportunity. We didn't give each other an opportunity to get to know one another. And then we all of a sudden had a baby. So he had a week knowing I was pregnant. I guess he didn't believe me. He thought I was just reaching out like some deranged, dick-hungry bitch. And it's like, hold on. Since I found out I was pregnant, I've had sex one time. So in the entire...
And that was like 2 days after Jason, right? If I remember correctly. Because I remember whenever she was talking to the detective, I was like, why would she... Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, why would I... If I... Hey, take that in the kitchen. No, it's not fine. Take it to the kitchen. Do I need to take it away? Because I don't want food in there. Take it in the kitchen or at the dining table. Okay, go in there. Little slick. She saw mommy was busy trying to take food into the bedroom. But yeah, I mean, if that happened to me, that's the last thing I would want to do is go have relations again or be around anybody. I wouldn't want to be around freaking anybody. And I don't even think she knew this dude either.
Duration of the 7 months, I had sex with one dude around Valentine's Day in a fucking hotel. And what did I get as karma? Some dick pics from a random fucking number, because yes, I know I was being a filthy whore, but I'm horny as fuck. I'm horny. You can't help it when your body is changing. You've got a baby growing inside of you. Women know this. They understand this. There's some of us that don't understand, like, most of us have a husband to go to for it. But I don't. I'm just horny all the time, and like
Okay. So I mean, I can't relate to that, but there's like so many, like, you don't have to go to a stranger's house and do something. I don't know. It just doesn't add up to me. If that happened to me, I wouldn't want to do. Like, everybody's different, okay? But still to this day, I'm not a fan of intercourse, you know? But that's just me. So I guess some other people, they're like according to her, because everyone's experience is different. They react differently. So I don't want to be around guys. I wouldn't want to, like, nuh-uh. But here, she's like, yeah, I got raped 2 days later. I'm just, like, so horny, so I'm gonna go, sleep with another guy that I don't know in a hotel. Okay.
Like, I don't know why I'm pregnant. Like, I didn't have a relationship with you. You didn't want to build one. You thought I was fucking crazy. There's nothing there. There's nothing. I just have apathy toward the entire situation now. It makes perfect sense. I just don't care. Like, you didn't care about me. I shouldn't have to care about you. You think I'm gonna fuck up with that restraining order? No, bitch. I was fucking with you. Sending you as much information as I possibly fucking could. So that you could fucking open your fucking eyes. So you could understand from my perspective how much this fucking hurt.
Golly, that scared me. This is crazy. She reminds me of, like, Amber Heard. Where it's like, you just got sued and you're in trouble, and then you're gonna go out here and do what you just did to get in trouble in the first place. She's out on bond and she's sitting here saying everything that she's done, admitting to hurting her baby, saying that she wants to be gone on numerous occasions. Really hope someone's watching this.
I'm fucking tired. There's so much out there that I could be doing to progress and to go to school and to do my work and amazing things that I'm capable of. The times where, like, I was incarcerated just now in there for a few days, and what did the girls do? Because I threw up the first morning when I was eating my oatmeal and whatever they gave us, like, it was mashed potatoes and oatmeal, which is normally fine. I could eat it here outside, but they don't have real food in jail. It's not real. And also, too, the fact of it is, it's just like, and it's so toxic. Immediately I started having, like, yellow, runny fucking diarrhea, and that's why I didn't want to eat any of it. I didn't want to contaminate my baby. I didn't want to, like, expose my baby to that. And what did they do during lunches and everything? Well, you get double lunch mate now. Like, who thought of that? Like, and that's, like, so detrimental. Like, so I had to just give it away. All I did was give my food away. So what did the girls do? They gave me ramen in exchange. Like, I had at least 2 bowls of ramen while I was there. And it was vegetable. And I know there's just a small bit of lactose in there. I read the label in the seasoning packet. But I went for it because it was better than fucking the shit that they had. So, yeah, and it did, stop me up and everything too. And I just prefer the vegan diet because it keeps me balanced mentally. And they didn't have that option there.
Mentally?
And I thought, that's against my constitutional rights.
It's against my constitutional rights. Oh my gosh. I'm so tired of her fucking talking like that. First of all, I've never heard a vegan diet helps your mental health. I've never heard of it, but obviously it's not true because you still need mad help.
Rights as a human being. And then I spoke to all these other ladies, and they told me all these horrendous stories, and I can't wait to relay every single thing that I overheard about improper improper medications being handled and everything like that. There was a woman, her name was Shannon in there, and she told me, she was like, they didn't give me my such and such medication, which can't be skipped. They said all of a sudden there was one day she didn't get it. And I understand people are on and off drugs in there. I get that, where they're not mentally stable. But there are a lot of these things, instances that truly did happen to these people. They know, because that's the one thing they'll fucking keep track of, is the things that they fucking have and own. Because everything else has been managed to be ripped away from them. So, even their dignity from having to be put in these situations. Though, they did have bras there, but they were all used, and they had male panties. I didn't have, like, the little mesh panties that are disposable. Instead, they had, like, nasty, disgusting, already, like, washed a million times male green underwear. And I was like, I started cracking up in booking, and I was laughing with the girls. I'd been in there in that booking room for approximately 8 hours, I think, before I was put back in the back. Then the first fucking officer, too, I'd asked her when I walked in about using the restroom. So I used the restroom. And then I had to use it shortly thereafter because I'm pregnant. The baby's going to be pushing on my bladder here and there. I went up and asked this officer, what a bitch. And I will say the fucking names. I don't give a fuck because I'm going to write about it. Doesn't matter. K was the last name. And this woman hates herself because she had eyelash extensions. I mean, in that way, she's trying to better and, like, pretty herself up. And I just stood there, getting...
Chasing that A and want to save time on proofreading? Grammarly makes editing one click simpler. We can suggest ways to rephrase whole sentences right in your paper to help you articulate your ideas clearly. We can help make improvements from simple edits to nuanced word choices, quick and easy. Like, really easy. 74% of students say that Grammarly saves them over 1 hour a week. Grammarly can even check billions of websites for unintentional plagiarism all at once. Now, maybe your all-nighters don't have to go all night. And when you're ready, you can send off that paper with confidence. Grammarly makes writing your best easy, and it doesn't end when school does. We can help with a job you just landed too. Congrats, by the way. Grammarly. Better writing made one click simpler.
So sorry, y'all. Didn't mean for the ad to keep going.
Booked in, and I'm very respectful. I'm very polite, and people don't like that because they're not that way. So it's a bit of envy. In some form, they envy me, and that's why they have to put me down more. I asked this bitch, and I say bitch because I don't give a fuck. If they try to tell me it's against my freedom of speech to call this woman what she is, you're degrading me. You're dehumanizing me. And also, too, that's against my constitutional rights because I'm here as an innocent party. You have...
I swear, I wish I had, like... I don't really drink that much, but I feel like I need to have, like, come up with a drinking game. Like, every time... Oh my gosh, we would be fouled up. But I was about to say every time, like, Heather says, like, for the record, or I miss my kids, or, like, my friend's coming, Coco. Like, take a drink. So, like, with Leticia, every time she says, against my constitution of rights, take a drink. Heighten, take a drink. I just want to kill myself, take a drink.
You have to be proven guilty. Yet they treated me as though I was guilty until proven innocent at this location. And then they said in the back, in the pod, I got the worst reputation, like one of the worst county jails in the United States. And I was like, well, definitely.
Yeah, I doubt that.
I've never seen things this, dilapidated and deplorable and unhygienic and unsanitary. But at the same time, I've only been in one other jail. And then the Beloit jail for an overnight stay where they picked me up. And I was driving around at dark because my brother wanted to go. And I say this stuff openly and honestly because this is what the truth is. And that's why people are like, shit, Leticia, you're going to get me in trouble and shit. Well, technically, I guess statutes and statutes of limitations, they can't really prosecute now or a certain extent. I don't know. But my older brother...
Not true.
...wanted to go pipe bomb somebody's house. And he was like, I need a ride. And I was like, you shouldn't do that kind of stuff. Like, it's not okay. And he was like, no, just be my getaway driver. And I was like, man, I don't know. So I dropped him off where he wanted me to do it, and he did it to the wrong house anyway. And I'm like, you motherfucking piece of shit, what is wrong with you? Like, don't get crazy like that. But they were doing coke and everything.
Okay, first of all, that's so stupid. First of all, I have no idea what pipe bombing is. Yeah, I have no idea. But I sense it's not good. And she's like, yeah, I told him, like, it wasn't good. Bitch, then why would you be the getaway car? Why would you drive him, drop him off, and then pick him up? Like, that makes no... You're just as guilty, because you knew exactly what he was doing. You brought him there, and you picked him back up, and you knew what he was doing. Like, you're just as bad. That makes no sense.
And everything, I don't know. I've never believed in the hard drugs, because that makes you go crazy. And then, he was walking around, I never saw him. Because I kept circling the area he told me to circle, because I was just doing what I was told. You know, you're my family, I guess I have to listen to you. Nobody listen to me. I just gotta do what I gotta do.
That's bullshit.
And then, and I know, it's terrible, but they picked me up and they were like, well, we don't really have anything to truly pin on you, but that was really suspicious. And we had this happen in the area, and I was like, well, don't know what to tell you. I plead the fifth. I didn't say that, but, I just kept my mouth shut. And so they had to have my sister come and pick me up. And that's what happened in Beloit. And they just had me in booking and scared me. And that was it. I don't even think that they actually, gave me a charge or anything like that, because they knew I wasn't a bad girl out of our family.
Oh my gosh.
They knew I was trying to appropriate myself in life and to stabilize myself to go on to do better than what my family had stemmed from and what my brother had done with the felony and everything, because I think this was even... no, this is before he got the felony. So, yeah, but he was still in a gang and everything, bringing around drugs and whatever. But yeah, I don't care about disclosing these things. They're what happened. It was the truth, and I stand by my truth even if I get in trouble. Like, oh, put the cuffs on me. That's why I always laugh about it, because I'm thinking, are you serious? You would do that to a big-ass pregnant woman? And I'm like,
yeah,
whatever. Go ahead. I don't even care anymore. Like, if that's how you want to mistreat me, go ahead. It's against my constitution.
Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you would really hit your baby? You would really threaten your baby? You would really hurt and kill your baby? And you want to talk about, oh my gosh, you would really arrest a big fat pregnant lady? Yeah, bitch. Like, are you kidding me? I would pick a baby over you any fucking day. Any baby. Babies cannot help themselves. They cannot defend themselves. They cannot protect themselves. They have no choices. Do you think the baby's like, oh, her, I want her to be my mom. I want to gamble on her. No. Hell no. Like, everyone needs to treat her like, oh, Leticia, don't mistreat her. Like, are you kidding me? The way that you talk about the baby and treat the baby, bitch, you are fucking twisted.
Constitutional rights to be, truthful and honest, but, to arrest me for these things. But, and then also, too, like I said, the way I'd asked for the restroom, Kay, this officer, she had told me, she was like, well, sit down and face the front, because it was away from her. And I was like, whoa, like, she was like, there's too many of you up here, because it was 3 people. Well, by the time I'd gotten up there, I was already standing up there. I didn't want to get up there and go sit down, because it would have been weird looking. So I just stood there, and I said, well, may I use the restroom? And she was like, go sit down. I guess people just don't like politeness in that way and proper English. So that's why some people have said, like, are you from a different country?
Oh my gosh.
Us-
I swear, this whole... Where did she say people thought she was from? Was it England? Or Britain? Just because my vocabulary is just so heightened. The way I just talk, like, so proper and polite, and people think I'm from a different country. No, that's not
us better in private school. I don't get that. That's why I wanted that for my daughter as well, because I knew that she would have been better off than in the public schooling system. And it wasn't the private school that made me weird. It was my family in conjunction and all the weird things people say, like, that is contradictory. So I ended up,
It's time to break up with your basic cleanser. Get with Neutrogena Hydro Boost Hydrating Cleansing Gel. Ooh.
having to hold it. And then she ended up leaving. She left. So it's like I waited 30 minutes or so, expecting that she would pay attention. Like, I have to pee. I'm 7 months pregnant. Like, I gotta go. But no, she was like, she left. And I saw someone else come in. So I went up and I asked the new lady. And I said, can I use the restroom? So she was like, well, and shortly thereafter, she had already settled in. So it's approximately an hour or more that I had to hold it after. And they're like, oh, it doesn't matter. You're here for a criminal charge. What are you talking about? You don't know the story. What are you talking about? Like, this whole thing is crazy. They told me, too, when I got there, I would be able to speak to the detective. He was waiting to speak to me. Never spoke to him. He never talked to me. They don't want to talk to people like that. They don't want to have to apologize or to actually realize, oh my God, this girl is not lying. She is actually genuine. The first fucking thing I've, noticed in the fucking world in a long time, and it comes in this form. A weirdo. This weird girl. And that's why I scare people. Even in, like I said, the Garland County Jail, I was writing rape with my food at one point because I was so mad. They left 3 fucking dishes in there for me to eat because they wanted me to eat something. I was like, it's all cold anyway. It's gross. It's going to give me diarrhea. No, I didn't say that. But then when they came up and the nurse asked me, because I said, I need to talk to somebody because I was starting to get dizzy and shit. And I told him, well, and I don't mean to hurt myself like that. Like, not you starving the baby and whatever. It looks bad. But then I said, well, they didn't ask me about my diet and like the vegan diet.
I don't think they care.
I've been on it for 2.5 years, and it's proof of that. So it's not like you can just up and change somebody's stuff and then just be like, okay, get out on the streets and like you've already traumatized me enough. Like just give me what I need for a little bit. Like, and then one of the ladies too, Medina, she is just such a sweetie to me. She gave me a hug and she said, side hug. She said, I was like, yes, please. And because they knew I'm not dangerous because they dealt with me before. So they knew it was just me being upset because I wrote rape with my food. I was spelling out rape in numerous,
Okay, I'm sorry. How did you not go straight to the freaking psych ward? Like, straight to the shoe. Straight to, like, what is it? Supervised. The floor where they're being watched 24/7. Like, she sounds like a mental patient. I was writing in my food. Like, what? And they let you out on bond?
Areas with the lunch meat and everything. And I was like, what the fuck are you giving me lunch meat for anyway? So then she said, will you clean it up, please? And I said, yes. And I did. So, it's like eating humble pie, Yes, I act out. Yes, I want to tell you what's on my mind. I wrote rape baby in there. And in paper, I also wrote, burn in hell, military men.
Oh my gosh.
I don't believe that with everybody. Because then I overheard that Sergeant Couch was former military. And I was like, oh, I feel bad. I don't mean to offend you. I meant the 2 that had offended me, And so it's kind of like that. Not every military man is crazy. I know that they have that sort of. Sometimes they like their authority. They like to have that, and I get that. It's part of masculinity. But at the same time, some people need to calm down. Then they end up on drugs and everything after the military. And
okay, you need to calm down. Like, I cannot stand people like this. Like, grouping everybody into one. Like, that's the whole, like, prejudice, racist, sexist, like, I'm trying not to make everything, like, personal, but it just aggravates me so much. And for someone who is supposedly, like, so intelligent, that's why we don't understand her. You would think she would realize and know this. Just because 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, 6, 20 people did something that was somehow all in the military does not make everybody in the military bad. Just because there's a few crooked ass cops. Doesn't make all cops bad. Just because there was a crazy ass white woman doesn't make all white women bad. Just because you got raped by this race doesn't mean everybody in that race is bad. Like, it drives me crazy whenever, because I've had experiences, obviously, and I would never be prejudiced against everybody because of one person. So she's just like sitting here saying like, F all military people. Oh, I don't mean like everybody, but like those two. Okay, well then you can call out those two. Don't say everyone in the military. Like, if you want to judge someone, judge them as them. Not the race that they are, not the career they have, not anything but their self.
And they end up all hyped up because they're not getting the right, because they've got the veterans care or the VA clinics and shit. And then it's like, it takes them months. I've heard these stories. I've talked to a lot of veterans. They're like, it takes months and months to even get an appointment. And sometimes they'll switch the appointments on you. And I'm like, well, first of all, they monitor each one of us. So they give us each allotments that are dependent on how good we are into the world around us.
Oh my gosh, you are so fucking crazy. People think I sound crazy whenever I talk about what, like, I think is going on in the world. Well, not really crazy, but, like, I have to rewind what she just said. You've got to be freaking kidding me. I think, personally, that our country has neglected our military people, our veterans, which is really irritating because it's like those people went over and sacrificed their life for their family and a whole bunch of strangers. And a lot of them did not make it back. And then most of them, if not all of them, if they came back, either something happened to them physically and then emotionally and mentally. I fully believe that. My dad was over there, but thankfully he wasn't. I mean, he developed some, but thankfully he wasn't, as bad. But there's a lot of people who need a lot of help coming back. You're traumatized. Like, there's so many people who are like, yeah, I had to shoot and I had to kill a, child, or they lost their leg, or, having PTSD and, like, waking up in the middle of the night, or you having to sleep with a gun in your hand. That would be scary as hell. I don't know if I could marry, and it sounds bad, but it's like, I would be so scared. Like, if that was my husband, I'd be like, oh my gosh, what if you, like, think that I'm a bad guy and you accidentally, like, shoot me? So I agree with that. I agree with they are not getting the help that they deserve. And it pisses me off because I feel like they use them to fight for the country, fight the war, do whatever they want, and then whenever they come home, it's like they just dispose of them. It's fucked up. Like, they should have their back. Like, they should be like the VIP, like, welcome home, don't worry about housing, don't worry about your medications, you're good for life, you laid your life on the line for all of us, so whenever you get back home, you're good. You don't have to worry about anything. That's what they should do with them, and they don't. And sadly, that's why a lot of them become deranged and homeless and on drugs. But this whole shit that she's talking about, they monitored us to see how good, that's just fucking crazy. Let me rewind it.
And I'm like, well, first of all, they monitor each one of us. So they give us each allotments that are dependent on how good we are into the world around us, how beneficial we're being.
Oh my God.
So I get that. Like, every once in a while, they'll cut you off and be like, okay, we'll see how, we need this space for someone more important.
No.
It's like, why are you chronicling people? Like, help people out. Or not chronicling, categorizing, or
You can't even talk, bitch. She's trying to find some words.
What's the word? What's the word? Like placing a numerical value on us, you know?
That's not true.
Anyway, I don't know. There's
Just
a word for it, and
stop.
I think about these things. It takes me a moment. Sometimes I have to Google synonyms of the word so I can pinpoint the exact word that I'm thinking of fits in there. So, and I was practicing my Spanish in there as well, and it's gotten so much better. The girls were very impressed. They could understand me really well, and I could definitely understand them. And even in booking, there was a girl. She was 34 like me, but she had 5 kids, and she was from California, and she was Hispanic. And she's like, I don't know what these charges are for. And I was like, well, you know, like, I don't see people for the charges. I see people for people. I see people for, like, because my mom said something about, yeah, just see what she's in there for, you know, after all, and then you have a different opinion. No, she was nice to me.
How do you solve a monster-sized problem?
Ads are driving me crazy. Crazy, 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 because I'm thinking about you like that.
Like, if you're nice to me and everything, that's how I rank you. Not dependent on
That's
what
how I
status
rank
you
you.
are in the world around us. It's a human being to a human being.
Oh, bless me.
That's how I deal with people, and that's why it kind of scares them in that way. And I wrote on there, like, Sergeant Jason Wallace, rapist Sergeant Jason Wallace in my fucking thing. And I know they don't want me to say that shit. Apparently that's whatever, slander and whatnot, or like terroristic threatening of talking about him in a bad way. And I'm thinking, get over yourselves. That's how I feel. That's, if he's the father, which clearly, I mean, we look at the dates, we look at...
No, you do not know for a fact, 100%, if he is the father or not. I think it would be hilarious if the baby came out, like, black as hell. Just so it could be like, it wasn't neither one of them. Golly. It was so close together. You cannot be like, oh, well, it said I was ovulating on the 9th, and we did it on this day, so I know he's the father, even though 2 days later, I did it again. Like, it's way too close. Way too close. Could you imagine if he was not the father, and, like, all of this happened? Oh, my gosh.
Look at the times, and more than likely he'd be the only one that fathered this child. And I'm like, ew. If that's the type of temperament this father has, this child has no hope. That makes me sad. Like, there's no humanity left in the world. I'm super compassionate. And
gosh, it drives me so crazy. It's like she can't, like, be a mom if she doesn't have a dude to be a dad. It drives me crazy. Like, yeah, it's sad if the dad doesn't want to be part of the life. But there's no way I would ever be like, okay, so, like, are you going to be a part of the baby's life? So I got to figure out if I'm going to, like, keep the baby or not. There's no way in hell. I don't understand why people do that. Like, it makes you just, not only you're a piece of shit, but it's like, how are you okay with yourself? Like, you can't be an independent mom. You're like, oh, this baby has no hope because the dad doesn't want to be a part of its life. No, that's not the attitude you should have. You should be like, oh, I love this baby. The baby's going to have, like, the best freaking life ever because I'm going to be, like, a bomb-ass mom. I got this. I don't get it.
the father has absolutely none. And I'm just going to balance this baby out, barely. That's crazy. And then it's going to end up going off in someone else's hands if I don't try to manage to keep myself out of prison. Why?
Let's hope so.
I'm like, and even like, oh my God. And then I cry. I just want to cry. I'm fighting back tears so hard. And so they put me in the turtle suit.
Turtle.
I know this doesn't all make sense right now, but I'll clarify it later. All the things that make me cry, and then I bring it up and people are like, what are you talking about? Like, you don't understand. I didn't tell you the full story yet, and you don't listen. You don't sit long enough to listen. I want to cry. And then I did cry. They gave me a tray, and it was a couple days in isolation because, okay, so my mom said, I can't go right now. I just got your message. It's late. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? So I started making an angry letter. And normally I don't talk like that. And in the letter, I even went, ah! With A's and H's all capital. And I said, fuck, with a bunch of K's. And like, so my mom knew I was just sort of relieving my stress. I wasn't actually, it was just in my mind. Like all this stuff just going off. She was like, I can't come and get you today. And it was the day I had my bond. And I was like, no, this can't be happening. So I told her that letter. And I was like, and it was right before nap time. And I was like, no, I'm still mad. Like and I said, I'm mad.
It was right before nap time. Do they have nap time in jail and prison? She's a fucking kid. She's a deranged, crazed out, fucking mental child. I'm mad. It was right before nap time and I was mad. Yeah, this, like, you keep on proving why this baby does not need to be in your care. Like, golly, if I was a gynecologist, I'd be like, okay, how many weeks are you? Let's check on this baby. Let's see if we get this baby out stat. Let's see how he's growing. Let's see if he's healthy enough.
And I don't normally talk like that, but that's actually what's going on in my head because it was too much stress. I'd snapped.
I just freaking can't. Okay, so I want to know why she ended up at her parents' house. Like, why she was at her mom's house. Was it because she was hiding? Was she nervous of the warrant? Because she said she was there with her mom, and I guess her brother. I'm assuming her dad. I don't know. And then she, I guess, went to the gym, supposedly first time at this one gym. She got arrested there. Not sure how they knew she was there, but doesn't really matter at this point, honestly. And then they stupidly gave her a bond. I don't know why they gave her a bond. That's so stupid. Like, since the baby is in danger and herself, but you would think they would be able to do something else besides bond her out and let her go wherever she wants to go. So then she goes to her mom's house. Why is she at her mom's house? Is it because they're like, we better not catch you in your car, you better have a physical address to go to? Like, is that why they bonded her out? Is that why they like, if you give us an address, then you can bond out? So weird. I wonder if she sleeps in her car at her mom's house. I mean, I doubt it, but I don't know. It's just so weird. I don't get it.
I want to kill myself because it's so. Then they put me in isolation because of it, because I said I want to kill myself because it's how I felt. I felt like, oh my God, I just want to go now. This immediately. So, you know, like, I just know, and nobody understands me. Like, I'm freaking out. And so
that's why you went to isolation.
I don't get my way, and I know that's a form of autism, and I know damn well. And my mom says it's because you're spoiled and whatever. No, I think I have undiagnosed autism since I was a child, and I already know that because I see the symptoms in other children now, and I'm like, holy shit, everything's adding up to me being crazy. You know, like me having these weird disorders I had no idea existed. So because we're just now classifying and researching these things, so
she knows she's crazy. She's like pretty much in this video like admitting she cannot take care of the baby. She doesn't want to take care of the baby. She already hurt the baby. I don't understand. Dude, this is like your third cheese stick. Take it to the table or the kitchen. Throw that in the trash, please. Gracias.
all this stuff I want to talk about, but it's already been an hour, and it's starting to get warmer out here, and I just wanted to rant about my brother and the fucking cereal on the floor after he stole my lighter. That's the only reason I had to go in his fucking room right now, and I was just like, why are you in the room again? And I'm just like, I don't want to deal with you. All you did was scream at me for fucking 30 minutes. That's why I ran away, straight into the arms of the fucking police, and it's just like, because they knew where I was, they know where I'm at. Yeah, I get that. I already knew that. Fuck you people. But I don't really mean fuck you people. I really don't in that sense. I know that you have to see how I am and with other people to really understand who I am and what I'm getting at and why I'm doing this. And it's just to be myself. It's just to be myself. I'm not trying to expose anything or anyone. I'm just trying to share my story as it is.
No.
I'm not trying to exacerbate things, nor am I trying to overly sort of
You are.
dramatize.
That's why you're
everything.
saying it.
So, yeah, I know I'm in trouble. But do I care? Not
Nope.
really. I'm going to try to sit out. Hopefully, the doctor will get back to me. I've got to make another appointment. I missed my ultrasound this last week. I was trying to do these things. Actually, I wasn't going to go to the appointment. I was going to drive away, and they knew it. They know what my mind is. Like, they know, because it's not even when I research anything. I just sit there, and they read my fucking mind. You know that. Everybody knows that, like, oh, I was just thinking that, and it's on my phone. Duh! We're crazy. So, all in all, though, I can always forgive in that way. That's why I still love my dad. That's why I still don't, I want him to fucking apologize and shit. I want there to be some kind of, retribution or some type of compensation in that way, and it not necessarily even be financial, but more emotional. Like I've said, what am I looking for? Not money. Fucking love. Where are my poodles?
Whoa, bro. Calm down. I should be hurting my ears. Sometimes I don't even, sometimes the ads aggravate me, but sometimes, I'm not even mad because I need a break from her.
And then I'm playing with my mom's cat. It's a sweetie kitty.
Oh my gosh.
He finally likes me. Well, now that I came back, he was like, oh, I didn't mind this one. She wasn't so bad. At least I don't scream at people. My mom's like, there are videos of you screaming. They're taking clips of it and they're putting it together. They're going to use it against you. They can't do that legally. They haven't looked at the entirety of the situation. So also, too, in those heightened states, yes, I'm screaming
Hey,
at
get
myself
up if you're
and at
eating
God.
that.
Who am I screaming at? Nobody. And when I was screaming at my mother, that's out of character for me. And I told her that. She's like, no, you scream at me all the time. Bitch, no, I don't. Because
I thought I was about to say it's out of character if she yells at her mom. It's not what y'all say.
I screamed at her yesterday and she started crying. Bitch, no, I don't. And I was screaming at her because I was just irritated because the whole scenario, why would you steal my filthy, disgusting panties? Who does that? That makes no sense. You steal fucking 7-month pregnant bitch's pregnant panties. Stinky, gross. That's gross. What is wrong with you? Where's my hairbrush? I want my hairbrush. For real, I know I sound like a child, but it's just about the little things. It's the little things. That's why I didn't fucking file against Jason. That's why I told him a few weeks later.
That's why That's why she didn't file against Jason. And then a few days she did after he said he didn't want to be in a relationship because she fucking crazy.
Hey, guess what? I didn't file. Hey, guess what? You've got a baby coming. Fucking piece of shit. He doesn't. No. I do. He means nothing to this baby. And I mean nothing to him. That's just how it goes. It's the circle of fucking life. Wait. Yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? The cycle of life. The cycle of life. I've got heartburn. I'm thirsty.
Oh my gosh.
I just can't believe this police report either. They redacted some areas of it, and I'm thinking, why? That's where I told you he had done what he did, and when I woke up, and then he said about, you're making me feel bad. That's all I can think about, Jason Wallace. Pussy ass little. You're making me feel bad. And I was just like, okay, yeah, physically, maybe I just want to feel good for a minute. So I rolled over and asked for it. and
What?
just wanted to comfort myself. And most people would.
Wait, did she just, like, admit that it wasn't? That she just wanted to... I gotta rewind this again. So, that's confusing. So it's like, she's trying to say at first she didn't want to, or it was like a surprise, and then she was like, okay, well, I wanted it to feel good, so I just... What the hell?
People would understand that. Physically, maybe I just want to feel good for a minute. So I rolled up by Jason Wallace. Pussy ass little, you're making me feel bad. And I was just like, okay, yeah, physically, maybe I just want to feel good for a minute. So I rolled over and asked for it. And just wanted to comfort myself. And most people would understand that. Especially because they're like, oh God, these people are supposedly former military. There's someone in the other room. They know I probably wasn't screaming in that way. Because I'm not that way. And I don't know. People violate me all the time. And I just sort of allow it. Because I have a high pain tolerance.
Oh my gosh.
And I detach. Not all there. Sort of like, it's just like so.
I just don't, like, I'm not trying to minimize the situation or doubt anything. But after you've been, like, essayed so many times, or just fucked with so many times, there comes a point where most of us, not everybody, I guess, but I know with me, I bet, fucking touch me. But I dare you to. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel really bad for the people who don't have the courage and the guts to stand the fuck up and do something. Like, if it happened once, devastating. If it happened twice, like, I believe me, I get it. But there comes a point when you should defend yourself. Like, why would you sit there and take it time and time and again? Like, I don't... Again, like, I'm not trying to minimize it. It's still wrong. That's why I think you should stand up for yourself. And this is what I don't understand about her. It's like, she acts like she's, you know, like, so smart, and she is just, like, knows what she's doing, and she's, like, independent, but she's not independent. She's not independent at all. If she was independent, she would be like, I don't need a fucking man. I don't need a husband. I'm pregnant. I'm going to take care of my baby. I'm a mom. Like, the father of the child does not determine me being a mom or how I'm going to raise this baby. She relies on disability, food stamps, YouTube, donations to survive in her car. And she just lets people walk all over her. She does a lot of shit talking for letting people violate her over and over and over and over and over again, and her not stand the fuck up and do something about it. I'd knock a motherfucker out if he would today.
So, beaten down my entire life. What's the purpose in causing a ruckus? And then finally, when there's a baby, like, who the fuck is going to be held responsible for this? And people are like, gee, you could have just waited and just gotten child support. No! It's not the point. These fucking people rape me. That's not the point.
Oh my gosh, stop.
I don't want money. I want fucking love. I don't want just everybody. I want the fathers of these children. It's so stupid. People are so
Whenever she acts like this, it drives me up the wall. Like, lower your voice. You sound like a damn child having a fucking tantrum. She seriously needs help. I cannot wait till this baby's born. Like, I wish I could get like an update. Like, I want to see the baby. I want to see, like, who the baby goes to. This is sad.
Stupid. Why would you just want to go off and fucking gallivant like that? It makes no sense. Stupid. My whole fucking life I've been mistreated like that, though, because I'm not pretty enough. Because my body's not pretty enough. Because my mind is too much for them. People are crazy. They say I'm stressful. You don't listen and you have no life. Look at Brandon Collins' fucking teeth. You don't fucking take care of yourself. You don't maintain yourself. Fucking chain smokers. Disgusting. You know you're going downhill for it and shit. And then my brother had to eat my vegan shit. And then as well, I see a fucking tray full of fucking bacon in there after I just fucking told them how toxic that shit is.
I love bacon. Don't talk about bacon, okay? Freaking, I'm vegan? Oh my gosh. Girl, you fucking homeless.
My mom's like, oh, and we had salad yesterday. I'm so pissed about this. What does she get? Bunch of fucking cheeses on there. Bunch of fucking chicken and egg. And a bunch of fucking Caesar. After I'm trying to disclose how good a plant-based diet is for everything overall, nobody hears me. Nobody sees it. Nobody wants to...
Maybe nobody cares. I don't want to be a fucking vegan. I'm sorry for the vegans out there, but I couldn't do it with my life. I love food. I'm not overweight. I don't overeat, but I would be damn. After working a hard, long day, I want me some carbs and some pasta and some chicken. Are you kidding me? I could not imagine living that life. And I know some people do. But someone like you should be very picky. Don't get mad if someone else doesn't want to be vegan because your crazy ass does.
Fucking listen. They just want to fucking beat me down until I'm dead.
Crazy
That's fine.
Bitch.
I don't really care. I don't care. Certain instances in my life, I just detach and I'm like, whatever, do what you want to. And then that's why they said, you don't need to contact the public defender. Hopefully. That's what the lady said, the bondsman. She told my mom, don't worry, you don't need to, and I know I'm genuine. I know I have nothing to worry about. And I know that's what it felt like was rape, and then they just disappeared. I get that. But that doesn't make it any less scary. Does it make this okay? That doesn't make the time I spent in there worth it. I mean, it does, meeting the girls. And I know I'm stronger than most people. And I feel for the people I've met, and even the people that are mean. Because they got to that point because of all these other people that are assholes. So yeah, they mistreat everybody because they think everybody's the same. So they just treat them like a fucking number again, you know? This nice gentleman, one of the officers over at the booking in, Falcone, heavy-set man. He was a sweetie, and he actually gave me, because Kay, when I went up to ask her, I said, can I use the phone for my call? And she was like, no, you have to wait till you get to the pod. She said, and I was like, oh, is that a regulation? I don't understand, because in Garland County, they allow you to have as many phone calls as you want to out, which is great, because you just never know. Hey, you're allowed one phone call. It's one, better make a good choice or whatever. And I'm like, what?
That's what I thought.
I was so scared. So I called my mom, and I started bawling. I was so scared. I don't like to relive it, though, because the man was sticking thing in his pee hole, paper in his pee hole. You don't understand. And people are like, what are you talking about? Let me tell you, it's a long fucking story, one that led to a fucking panic attack, and I was detached for a minute. I didn't feel good. I felt sick. And then that morning after it and everything, I threw up my breakfast, and the girls were helping me in the pod. But the fact of it is, Falcone let me have my numbers so that I could end up calling out. So that was good in booking, because I was very scared. So he actually saw me as a person and not a number, and that actually is a benefit, a beneficial thing. I wish maybe he wouldn't eat certain things because it's bad for his digestion. That excess weight is probably rough on his bones and his knees.
Golly, she's something else.
Probably. But probably his feet hurt after long days of work and stuff. So he was a very nice gentleman, though. And I'm not saying that these people aren't, handsome in their own way or whatever. I don't try to bring people down aesthetically or anything, or just describe them in that way. I'm just seeing what I see at a certain, And that's why I told my mom even I'm going to draw out what it looked like in the pod so she understands it was just like prison and everybody was in together, and that made sense about like they didn't give us many things. They gave us all these, and then there was like it was like a sports bra, but it was so like worn and like tattered that I had to like tie it in the back to make a knot to keep my breasts like slightly up a little bit, because they were just, all it was like a sheet, just that was it. There was no support whatsoever because they had worn out of like, and they weren't using like all their like, I don't know, it's just, so it was so gross. And then when the guy, oh my god, the trustee was in there digging around and grabbing my stuff, he had no gloves on. And I was like, oh my god, at least the trustees over at the fucking Garland County understand about hygiene and shit. I was like, oh my god, what am I looking at? And he just touched it with his fucking hands, and I don't know if it's been on his penis lately or not. Oh my god. And I kept putting paper down when I would sit, and I was like, no, I have to do this. I don't know about you people, but I left my toilet paper behind, so it wasn't like, I knew I wasn't going to be in there too long, because they would probably do a bond, even though they told me there wasn't a bond on that. And then my mom noticed too online, that's how she keeps up with me sometimes. She's a super sleuth, but she kept up with me, and after the videos, the ones that disclosed that I was, handcuffed and blah, 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 and, which was kind of weird. I don't know, I didn't listen to them, I didn't care. I'm just telling it from my perspective. This is what happened. I can't wait to share the story of what really happened on that end. That's why I video everything, so I can share it for its, the actual, what the fuck? Like, my responses are so hilarious because I'm so calm in these circumstances. Like, everybody's so heightened, and I'm just like, what are you talking about? People are driving me crazy. And you're gonna tell me I can't go back there? There's nowhere else I can go in the fucking area either, aside from, there's really nowhere else. I'm gonna have to branch out, because I don't want to fucking deal with anybody anymore. I have to go exercise where? What the fuck? Oh my god. I want to go swimming. People are crazy. I just want to go float around. Go get some movement in my life. But I also want to rest and sleep a lot. And eat a lot. And so anyway, I was throwing up in the pod, and the girls got the trash can for me, and one of the ladies even got me a cup of water, and she gave me her cup, and it smelled so weird inside, and I was like, no, please God, no. And I kept telling her, I'm okay, thank you, and it just made me vomit more. Like, I'm sorry, but it's true. I don't like to use people's used things, but when you're in a circumstance like that, I understand you just have to go with what you've got. And they were offering me affection, and I couldn't say no. So I just drank out of the cup anyway, because I didn't want to be rude. And the same thing with the lady that they put me in. They ended up putting me in isolation, but then they put another lady in there with me that was on suicide watch as well. And then this is my last night there, and I was like, instead of being in with the girls that were so affectionate toward me, I ended up like sleeping in that fucking shithole with that lady, and it was like rancid, just rotting flesh coming from her mouth. It was like putrid in the sense of like, and I had it so well.
I'm like not even. I'm not even paying attention. I'm like, Heather, oh yeah, you're almost done. You're almost done. You're almost done. I'm like getting distracted with something else, but the video's almost over. It's like I don't even know what she's fucking talking about right now.
I'm so sorry. I'm so tired. I didn't sleep well. But it was just because I guess she hadn't. The moment she opened her mouth to sleep, I could smell it in the entire cell. And I could tell that was decaying matter in her mouth, like,
oh my gosh,
whatever she had eaten. And so, whatever drug she was coming off of, so I placed toilet paper over my face. Long strands of toilet paper and wrapped it around my face, and so I could sleep with some semblance of a mask, because the smell was just raunchy, and it was horrifying. The whole thing. I just sit there, and then they gave me a tray, and I started crying because last night, I guess it was, It was, I don't know, it had meat in it, and the juices were all over my mashed potatoes and stuff. And that's all I could think to eat on that tray that I could manage that was kind of slightly vegan, even though I think they did put butter and shit in that kind of stuff. So, and some weird powder, and they didn't label it, so I didn't want to drink it. I was scared. I was like, is there lactose in here? Like, is that going to hurt me? Because I didn't want that weird yellow stuff. And it was like that the whole time I was in jail. Yellow, slimy poop. And
I'm sorry, I know a few of us were talking about she was probably complaining so bad about the food. I knew she was gonna try to go on strike and not eat, and then the whole, I'm a vegan food, I need vegan.
And I was so scared. Like, I suggest don't do anything wrong. And that's why I was like, every time I've been in there, I'm like, have I really done something wrong? Like, are you really thinking and accusing me? And I thought it was my freedom of speech to speak to these things, and also this and that. So even when I had the loaded guns and everything, I made that video that I ended up deleting. I should have kept it up and everything. I know I look like a crazy person, but the fact of it is like, he left 2 loaded guns with me. Who's crazy, really? You know, you guys classified me as crazy, and here I had sat on these loaded guns for 2 years, and I wasn't threatening anybody but myself, really. But then also, too, if I would have, I noticed instances as well where people end up, like, blowing parts of their face off and they still live from it, and then they have to live that way. And that's sad. So I don't want to be a charity case, which is weird, because that's all this seems like. It's like I'm looking for fucking help. I don't know.
Well,
That's why I tell people about donations and whatever, because I even told my mom, I was like, this is a huge lawsuit. Like, honestly, if I ended up finding the right lawyer or the right attorney to file for this, because I'm a disabled citizen and I have not been heard my entire fucking life, and I've technically probably been disabled my whole life and not even known it. And because of the things, the actions, and also having to smoke marijuana as well, like, that's the only medicine.
Oh my
and they
gosh,
told me
no,
that it
you
was
don't.
not good, and they put me on probation for it. Like, they've done all kinds of things that were so backward, and the way that they handled me, and the disorderly conduct that I had when I was pregnant, first getting down here with Parker, they slammed me on the ground. I told my mother all these instances. They didn't see me as a person. They saw me as some type of drug addict or something, because that's normally what they deal with. And nope. Thirsty as hell. So, my mom got me that water on the way up and everything. She said, I sat there for 2.5 hours waiting for you to come out of that jail. I was like, yes, Mommy, I know. I stress you out. All you guys do is fucking stress my mother to the point of death, having to fucking worry about us, children, and everything. And here I was doing just fine for nearly 2 years, away from everybody. Didn't want to bring any of my fucking emotions to anybody. And yet, I have to disclose all of this in such a manner. I am ashamed and embarrassed, and very humbled to that.
Oh,
Fucking disgusting. I have no pride left in me in that way. Fucking naked in the fucking cell, and this lady and her fucking gross feet, and oh my god, no. And everybody had like foot rot, and one of them had
I mean, what do you think people thought about you? I mean, you were in the same place that they were in. I'm sure for different reasons, but hey, we're in the same place. I mean, you can't be judging everybody whenever, I mean, look at you. Just take a really good look in the mirror.
had a wart, and I'm like, no, I don't want to get that. I don't want to end up with skin conditions and shit. And then when I saw the nurse, finally, like 3 days into my fucking stay, finally, Jesus Christ, I got there on a Monday. Didn't go back until like midnight that day. So then it was like Tuesday by the time I was in there. Then I ended up seeing the nurse on, let's see, today's Friday. So maybe it was Wednesday.
Neutrogena Hydro Boost Hydrating Cleansing Gel.
Gosh, these things are so loud. It's almost over. She's so crazy. I wonder if she's done another video yet. She's got to be bored at her parents' house.
No, that was when I had my bond hearing. is Wednesday. And then I ended up having my nurse's visit on Thursday. Wait, that was yesterday, correct?
Oh my gosh.
I got there Monday, sat there through Tuesday, nothing. Wednesday I had the bond hearing, and then after the bond hearing I saw the nurse. Then, Thursday, leading into Thursday, I was in isolation and spoke with the social worker finally. So, and then I was able to leave because they ended up, and everybody understood. And the social worker, Blakely, she was a lovely woman. She was very nice. And she understood from my perspective, yes, I say these things, but did you read the message I said after that? And I don't know, they had to, I'm so sorry. None of this makes any sense. I have to put this in context. And it's like, oh, okay. I don't want to talk about it right now. It's already been an hour and a half. But if anybody wants to send donations, I
gosh.
just don't believe. I feel like I should get a really good attorney. And I told everyone, I feel like I should sue the state of Arkansas for mishandling me my entire fucking stay down here 15 years. Because, honestly, in and out of the psych wards, and they weren't listening, they were nothing but drugging me up. And then my proper medication is marijuana. Nobody's paying for that, so I have to pay out of pocket. I'm disabled, don't have the fucking finance.
Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh, you have to pay for weed? First of all, it's not even legal. I don't know where your mom is at, but I have to pay for my medications, and it's not even weed. People drive me crazy. Like, oh, yeah, it helps me. That's why I smoke it. What? I'm sorry. What is it helping you with? Because it doesn't look like it's helping you with your mental health. I mean, you're out. You say that you're high as soon as we started the video, but you're going batshit crazy, so... maybe you should try not to do it. Maybe it's making you worse. But I have to actually pay for real medications on my own. But guess what? I also, I take on responsibility. I take care of my kids. I have my own house. I have my own job because I'm independent. I'm not trying to, people don't owe me anything. I'm not going to sit in my car and, beg for people... Okay, I'll act right. I'll do better if you just give me a house.
Finances. People are like, work for it. What are you talking? I would kill myself. There's too much stress already in my brain constantly. Constantly. I cannot even socialize. I just want to be with animals and cuddle. That's all I want to do. The rest of my life, and paint and dance and sing. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with people. They don't even realize. I just do not want to go. There's no effort left in me. I've been robbed from. My house has been stolen. My poodles are gone. My daughter's gone. I'm just chugging along.
And you're not making anything better.
I don't even want to make attempts toward anything. I have a baby coming. What am I supposed to do? The only talents that I have, the only things I have to fall back on are a few things. I don't have any degrees yet. I haven't searched for anything beyond this. So, I don't know what to say or do at this point. I just leave everything to God. I do. I tell people, if you want to donate toward this, I don't know. I would like to sue at some point because obviously they're not taking my words and giving me some type of compensation or anything to help me get housing, try to help me, fix my life slowly. No. Instead...
Compensation? Do you know what compensation means? What are you trying to be compensated for? I'm sorry, but this is not Jason being asked to be compensated for your gas if you drive to the Airbnb. People like to help people that are helping themselves. You're not helping yourself at all.
Instead, they're running me out of town. They're trying to tell me I can't go to this place and that place because officers go there to work out. I'm sorry I'm so offensive to you.
HCA Florida Healthcare. We show up.
I'm surprised she doesn't, catch a charge for something like that with the officers, Because it sounds like she's saying things, I don't know if she's, threatening the officers or what.
Is that a threat or something? Is that why? Because you mishandled me? And you mishandled all of my information? You mishandled the person you're dealing with? You just saw me as a fucking number? You just saw me as classifications that are misclassified? You saw me as an aggressor because it said an assault on 2 family members, that you never actually stood up and put the right perpetrators in jail. So, no, I'm pretty sure I have a lawsuit here. I'm pretty sure that I was mishandled in this entire jurisdiction and also other jurisdictions nearby. So, apparently, because what the fuck? You don't treat people like that. I'm fucking pregnant. I'm disabled. I don't know where I'm at.
My gosh.
I didn't even know about getting a public defender last time. That's how it was. Because they had allowed me to sign paperwork while under the influence of all these pharmaceuticals. I didn't know what I was signing. I never got a public defender. That's why I went to jail for that shit and whatever. Nobody stood up for me. Nothing. I just took it. And they know. They're like, Leticia, she'll just go with whatever. I go with the flow. But honestly, that's not okay. That's like a total lawsuit right there, because everyone knows I'm a sweetiekins in that way. I'll give you everything. The lady behind me asked me for...
Oh my gosh, you're not a freaking sweetiekins. It's driving me crazy. She just called herself Leticia again. I'm so confused. I've heard her call herself Leticia. I've heard herself call herself Leticia. All the time. She goes back and forth, and it's so confusing. Like, ma'am, how do you pronounce your name? It's confusing me. So now, I usually just call her Leticia, but sometimes I'm like, maybe I'll call her Leticia. I don't know.
For my water, when I first got there, I didn't know it was just water. I thought it was that weird sticky juice stuff. I didn't want it, so I gave it to her.
What is sticky juice stuff?
She said, well, can I have your drink? And she saw that I only ate the carrots, so she only ate her carrots in that way. And a little bit of what else was on the tray. I thought, okay, I wish I could have asked you for more food. I'm hungry, because even the carrots had something in it that I shouldn't have eaten. None of it is food. None of it's so processed that there's actually no nutrients in that. So you're just making people more retarded, and then you're forcing them back out on the streets all confused and everything. Oh, I was telling you about Couch, who was setting up behavioral health visits for people and then sending them on their way, which is actually very beneficial, very good for them. And I hope that wasn't just a ploy, that it was just like to try to, so I would overhear, so that they're actually making advances, but they're really not. I hope they are, though. Really.
Why didn't she go?
A lot of people that are criminals are not actually criminals. They're just mentally ill, mentally unstable, and they need somebody to talk to. And, that's why I tell people all the time about, we should end up getting some type of stipends to live off of. And, with insurance, nationwide.
Could y'all imagine her in jail? That's probably what she was doing. We all need to rally together and have a strike. We deserve money. We deserve housing. People were probably she probably had some crazy people along with her, but she probably had people bitch, if you don't shut the fuck up, I'm gonna beat your fucking ass. You lucky you pregnant.
Nationwide insurance like that, I feel for everybody. They're not getting the proper attention that they deserve. And my mom's like, well, there was no such thing as disability when I was growing up. And I was like, well, yeah, now we're realizing I can't function as normal people do. So what these normal standards are not normal for me.
Oh my gosh.
So we have a whole regime of also autistic kids growing up, and you have to realize that's why we do the things we do. That's why we act out to you, because we've been injected with...
Okay, so now she has diagnosed herself with autism. She really needs to seek help and figure out what she really has and heal from her trauma. Do what she needs to do to survive. Or she's just going to be stuck at her mom's house or living on the streets, and her psychosis is just going to get worse and worse and worse. Her mental health is just going to fucking decline. There's no way. If you can have a better life and not live like this, you should take that opportunity. And I really hope and pray that the state of Arkansas does not disappoint and will get her help.
With things throughout our lives that alter our brain chemistry, and we have to physically... I have tantrums all the time. They get around video everywhere. Like, I will have a fucking tantrum if you keep me from shit. And they don't see.
See, I think she uses stuff like this as an excuse. Like, she's just, oh, yeah, I have tantrums all the time whenever I don't get what I want. But it's just because I'm just like a child and I have autism. So you can't get mad at me. You can't get on to me. It's not my fault.
They're like, you're this mentally ill. You're 34 years old. Get over it. And I'm like, how? Like, how? I died so many times growing up, in and out of consciousness. That's just who I became. And then people have said, you don't belong in here. You're too innocent. Like, look at you. You're so innocent looking. And I was like, because I am. What are you talking about? I'm not trying to act that way. It's just how I am.
You are not innocent by all. That's such a damn lie. That's not the first time she said that. I don't know who the hell would be like, you look so innocent. Why are you look so innocent? No, you don't. You just have to open up your mouth and people know you're not innocent.
Who I am. Like, too transparent. That's why when I even filed for the clothes being missing, I guess it was already a warrant and they didn't want to fucking take me. They were like, no, this girl, she's just trying, she's trying her best. And I was. And then I had to run back to Mom because I had nowhere else to go. But I wish my brother wouldn't fucking throw cereal on the floor. My mom got onto me for leaving water droplets in the sink and made me wipe the sink out. That's how fucking stern she is with me. And I told her, I said, you hold me to a higher standard than everyone else, and I don't understand why you don't understand that. I don't get it. She holds me up here like I'm so smart in everything. I get that. But I'm so heightenedly stressed that, and I see all the differences. I just never.
She said heightenedly again. Gosh, I know, Mom. I know I'm so smart, but you can't put me on a pedestal. You can't expect so highly of me. I know I'm so smart. I know I'm so heightened, but I'm just really stressed out right now. Okay, it's my autism. Blame it on my autism. Okay, I'm just having a tantrum right now. Just leave me alone. I can't.
Never speak out about it, and then it just eats away at my soul. And I'm like, why do you do this? Why do you let him get away with everything? Why do you let him get away with screaming and shit and hollering? Send him on his way for a minute. Let him cool the fuck down, and then he can come back and talk to you. Like, she lets everybody get away, and then she's like, you're the one that causes these issues, Leticia. You caught having these tantrums and shit. I'm not even. That's what makes me have these fucking crazy events. I have no one in my life. No one and nothing. Wish I had a little poodle. That would be nice to cuddle. But then I have a baby. But then it's like, I would be able to maintain it. But that's because I have, all the time in the world. And I'm not doing anything with my life. But, and I was going to. But just in a creative way, entrepreneurially. Instead of,
like
trying
what?
to go and seek a career and everything. But I guess I could seek it as well if I had the finances to get a doctorate. Dr. Carroll said that I'd be able to be capable of it even at this age. I might be older and becoming, a psychologist, but
what?
It would be nice. It would be nice. And you can still be disabled and be something, I am still technically disabled. My PTSD gets to me.
Okay, but my thing is, you have to fix you can't be like, well, I'm a screwed up person, so this is what I want to do in life, is to help screwed up people or to diagnose screwed up people. First, you need to be diagnosed yourself, and you need to get yourself better. Whether that means you have to get on medication or not. I know it's hard. Some people really don't want to get on that medication, but if you honestly need it, then you need to try it. And the whole medical marijuana, this does not help your mental health. It is not, obviously, look at you. It's not helping you. It could be possibly making you worse. So you cannot go and try to diagnose someone and help someone else if you can't even help yourself. If you're not even open-minded and will listen and figure out what the hell's wrong with you and fix that. And then you can go on and help other people. But I'm going to go ahead and say, if you can't care and love and take care of your baby, you can't do much with your life. Sorry.
So there's no denouncing that. And I try to explain that to people. A lot of these people are just disabled. A lot of these people suffer from mental illness, and you can't help that. Drugs are mental illness in that way. Like, if they're seeking that, then they didn't get the proper support when they were growing up. And that's where I always stuck with God. And I told people, well, you know, everything around us in nature, and that's the universe. And one of these ladies in there was worshiping La Santa Muerte. And I even drew a picture of it. And everybody probably thought, like, oh, that's demonic. Like, no, you know, let them pray to whomever they need to pray to. Apparently, she had another photo that she had drawn out of La Santa Muerte. And it was ripped up by one of the guards. I said, do you understand that that's unconstitutional?
Oh, shut up.
Do you understand that that's not okay? Like, they're violating your religious beliefs? Because it is a connectivity still to God. Let her pray to whoever she prays to.
I'm gonna shut up.
It's not necessarily demonic just because she's a skeletal figure. You know? That's why we have Dia de los Muertos. To remember and respect the dead. And, you know, that's just one of her patron saints in that way. And it's just like I pray to Mary as well through my Catholicism. But it's not, it's all generally just up to God. It's to the higher being, the higher power that is God in my eyes, which is all of the, you know, the universe and the chemical compounds that we're made out of, all those atomic molecules. It's everything, I believe, is God. You know, the balance in nature. Even, like, when I was bitching about the crackhead being part of God and not being part of God, technically he was, because he was teaching me a lesson. And so I take everything, both blessing as a curse, you know, blessings, curses, all the same sort of issue. Same thing with this, the baby. Babies are always a blessing, people say. But isn't it a curse if it were ripped away from you? Like, I've already felt that pain. You know,
oh my gosh,
getting
I
my 3.5-year-old ripped away from me, and that's where it's like, that's where people feel for me. They're like, holy shit.
Yeah, I
They
don't
didn't
feel
allow
for
her
you.
like an attorney. They didn't, you know, she was technically disabled. Nobody stood for me in court. I didn't even show up to court. They should have known that that was a red flag.
Dude, that's so, like, I've already talked about that whole thing. That's stupid as hell. Why would you not show up to court? Supposedly her mom said, actually I think her mom was the one who said, I told her not to show up to court. And that supposedly, like, her husband, like, planned it all out, and her husband had her on all this medication and just all this stuff. And it doesn't make sense to me because, first of all, you, like, nobody can force you to take medication. Like, what is your husband doing? Was he, like, hurting you, holding you down, putting it in your mouth and making you swallow it? Like, if you're that, like, out of it. And second of all, if you knew you were not acting as yourself, whenever y'all were separating, whenever you were getting a divorce, why would you not stop taking the medication if you did not want to take the medication? If you knew it was making you crazy or you were taking too many, why would you not stop it? That does not make any sense to me at all whatsoever. So even if he was making you take it or making you feel like you had to take it, if you knew you were, like, not yourself or you were laid up in the bed or this, that, the other, like, wouldn't you correct that as soon as you got away from him? Y'all were going through a divorce. You had to go to court. So obviously y'all weren't together. They blame everybody for everything. And then her mom is just, I'm sorry to say, but I guess she was too dumb to fucking figure it out. So she wanted to blame it on the dude, too. Oh, why the hell would you tell your daughter not to show up for court? Especially if it has something to do with her daughter. Like, that makes no sense whatsoever. How could she be so messed up on prescription medicine that she thought it would be best? What I heard was she thought they can't take her rights away if she just doesn't show up to court. So that's what I believe. I believe she just didn't want to go, and she thought the world, because she does, she thinks the world revolves around her. So I truly think she thought, well, they're not going to do anything if I don't show up. They can't take my rights away if I don't show up. That's the easiest way for them to take your rights away. Like, if you have court for anything, and especially if you're fighting for something, trying to get something or whatever, you don't show up to court, you're pretty much forfeiting your rights and everything. So this whole story with, oh, I was so messed up on these pharmaceutical drugs that I didn't even go to court, shouldn't that be a red flag? No, the judge isn't going to be like, oh, Leticia didn't show up for court. We should go check on her because she's probably ill. Like, if anything, they would be like, oh, well, more of a reason why you shouldn't have your daughter because you're screwed up on drugs and you don't listen to your body and you don't know when to stop taking medication. That will not make sense. Like, nothing makes sense to me. And I will not, I can't sit here and pretend to, like, feel bad for her and just be like, yeah, like, that's really weird. Yeah, like, shut up. I'm so ready. Like, there's only a couple more minutes of this video.
As a parent.
Forget ass. You can't. I'm so curious. I don't know. She has to do another video. There's no way she's going to be at that house and not do another video. I'm gonna have to check.
Me as well to see what my side of the story was. Instead, I was so beaten down by these individuals that I'm talking about. How Loretta beat the shit out of me, never got in trouble for it, and the two cousins and the grandfather tried to punch me in the face. But everybody's like, no, if you love them, you're gonna... Well, if they loved me, they would have allowed me to see my child within 6 years, the last 6 years. So that's why it's gotten to this extreme. That's why it's gotten to this much exposure, and that's why I do the things that I do. I better get off of here, though, because it's already a lengthy video. It's going to take forever to load. I hope that everybody's had a blessed time. I'll tell you more about what was going on individually. Like, this is all just last week. There's still another 2 weeks prior to that I've got to tell you about. So, oh my God, my life. My life is a shit show, and that's why I don't mind disclosing it, because at this point, I think it's hilarious. There's no way this could be real. I even told the lady in booking, this must be a joke. And even when my mom was telling me, I can't go get you till tomorrow, I was like, this has to be a joke. Like, I told everyone my mom should be here shortly. My mom should get me this evening before dinner, I'm sure. And I was thinking, like, my mom's always on top of everything. And then she shows up the next day. And, like, I didn't even get to say my goodbyes to the ladies in the pod because they took me away and put me in isolation.
You'll be back.
In the turtle suit so I could breathe fucking shit mouth. Ugh. It was like we were making out in there. Fucking gross. Rancid poop mouth. Take care of her. Don't be letting her sit there. And then they just let her sleep. She didn't want to eat or anything. She just wanted to sleep. So they just let her. And I'm like, well,
good.
If you don't want to help people, you don't want to help people. But, you know, in Garland County, they tried to set up programs to get people involved so they can be a part of the community again, instead of just turning them out and pushing them away and making them part of those outcasts. And that's why I sing sometimes the Notre Dame, God save the outcasts. God save the outcasts, children of God. I see a puppy, and he's almost in the street, down a hill, that people come down fast. I want to go talk to him. Anyway, her. I love everybody, and I hope they've been doing well. And I feel a little bit better now from ranting, and, you know, like, I get pissed off, and then I can't even confront my brother about these things. You ate my cookies. You ate my cheese. No, I just have to get over it. I always have to eat it. All the time. Why do I have to just eat everybody's shit and then I just have to get over it? People are like, and then when I do snap, oh my God, bitch, you did not see that I've been patient this whole fucking time with you. Same with Jason, same with this and all of that, this and that. So, anyway, I hope everybody's doing well, and I can't wait to, like, try to do the clip.
It's almost over. But I can't, look how big her boobs have gotten. They're like, bleh. Like the one is just like, bleh. It's like, hey, hanging on for dear life. And she's like, her stomach is so big. what did she say? Did she say she was 8 months pregnant? It would not surprise me if she does not last another month. But I hope she does, because I need her to be in custody whenever she gives birth. That's the only way that I would feel more comfortable, if she was in custody, so they can take her to the hospital and give birth and make sure the baby's okay and hold on to the baby. Because if she's not in custody, I really don't know. She said she doesn't want to go to the hospital. Would her mom call the ambulance? Would her mom make her? Would she, give in because of the pain and go? Or would she actually be one of these deranged people, which I wouldn't put it past her, to just have the baby wherever she's at? And then, I don't even want to think about the rest.
Clipping of that video so I can share it with you. So it's hilarious when I got arrested. It's pretty funny. But
I can't wait to watch it.
Because I'm just so calm and patient with everybody. Oh my Jesus. Oh my Jesus. I'll pray for everyone. Oh my.
You are never calm and patient with anybody. Do you not watch your videos? You talk about all these interactions and it doesn't sound like she's ever calm and patient.
My God.
And stop using the Lord's name in vain.
Today is June 24th, 2022. Leticia Collins serving. Have a blessed day, everybody, and I'll keep you updated later when I feel better and want to video some more. I only did this one as an angry rant and shit, but at least you know a little bit about what's been going on. I hope everybody's been doing well and has a blessed weekend and stuff. Safe. Love you. Bye-bye.
All right, and that's the end of my part 2. I'm going to go ahead and upload. I need to charge my computer. I'm going to go ahead and upload these 2 and see if she posted another video.